All right. Let me make sure this is working here. Before I get started, according to my channel, it's saying it's not up, but let's see right now. And of course, I can't find my own damn channel. There we go. Yeah, it says I'm live. All right. And I'm getting echo. So we're good. All right. So this isn't for entertainment purposes. This isn't for really it's just for myself. The only reason I want to do this, I don't know why I'm doing a lot. Well, I'm doing it live because it's easier, to be honest with you. But the only reason I'm doing this so I can look back 4 years from now and see what I think about what was in my mind at this point. Let me find. Okay, there. Set that up. And context. This is, of course, obviously, by the title, it's the Trump inauguration that happened today. So it's kind of new. And but for context, man, I believe, Bernie over Trump. Until he sold out to Hillary. Told you to vote for Hillary, then no. Trump over Hillary, obviously. Let's see who else do we have. If it was RFK, it would have been RFK over Trump. If it was Tulsi Gabbard, it would have been Tulsi Gabbard over Trump. But of course, Biden, Trump over Biden, Trump over Kamala, obviously, because Kamala wasn't democratically elected. She shouldn't have been running in the first place. So that was kind of bullshit. But, just for some outlook, I'm on the fence here with this guy. But again, he was a better candidate, especially at this fucking point. So with that out of the way, again, this is just something I'm doing for posterity. I want to see, in 4 years where I was on this day, as far as how I felt about this, and where I am in 4 years on this. So this is more personal. This may go into, I may put this private. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I usually don't care anymore. I don't really do too much on here anymore. So I'm going to play this. This is from C-SPAN. Hopefully I don't get nuked by them. So that's kind of why I chose C-SPAN over all the rest. But I want to go through his inauguration here and what was said and how he said it. Because I've already listed this once, and I didn't really agree with a lot of what he said, man. If I had to give it a grade on a personal level, right? Because I ain't no fucking political kind of person for the most part. But if I had to give it a grade, I'd say B-, man. It wasn't great, even though he wanted it to be great. It wasn't the greatest thing. It wasn't all bad either. I just think, yeah. So let me play this a little bit and I'll explain.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of...
I see here, you look at Kamala grinning. Obviously, Hillary's pissed. Biden's kind of in la la land, so, whatever. He wasn't going to be president anyway, so I don't think he cares. But, I always felt Kamala didn't really want the job in the first place.
America, Donald J. Trump.
All right, so before he begins to talk, here's what I expect to hear from him. And again, I'm no political science. I've only taken what's up? I've only taken like a couple classes in political science and all that sort of stuff. I actually got kicked out of political science. I'm not going to tell that story, but what I expect to hear from him is basically, country's fucked up, the world's fucked up. Here's what we're going to do to fix it. That's all I want to hear. And I don't know if the audio is loud
Thank
enough
you
on
very
this
much,
thing.
everybody. Well, thank you very, very much. Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Senator Thune, Chief Justice Roberts, Justices of the United States Supreme Court, President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins right.
So, I mean, I guess he was just naming off presidents there, vice presidents, stuff like that, people who were there. But obviously, he didn't mention Hillary, who's sitting there scowling his back. Clinton looks happy. Clinton's fucking smiling. Of course, we know Michelle Obama, played a big activist thing and decided not to show up, which who really gives a shit? Nobody fucking cares about Michelle Obama. I don't know why anyone would at this point. Anyway.
Right now.
Even think Bush. It's crazy.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer during every single day of.
Now, if he just said that and walked off stage, I'd be like, "This guy's a boss." That's all you need to hear. That's it. That's it, right there. But nah. It can't be that easy.
The Trump administration, I will very simply put America first. Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end.
All right, so far we're good. We're good. I'm good with what he's saying.
And our top priority will be to create a nation that is proud, prosperous, and free.
So I think here you should have said, we shall bring back pride and prosperity to our nation. But whatever, dude. I mean, you're not creating the nation, bro. Like it's already been here for quite a while.
America will soon be greater, stronger.
But again, that's all semantics, so whatever.
And far more exceptional than ever before. I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that.
So the problem I have with this kind of rhetoric, and I guess they all do it, so it's fine. It is what it is. But the problem I have with this rhetoric is you're basically saying like, oh, this country's shit. It's been shit. And I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to make it, a great country or whatever. This whole MAGA thing I think is fucking stupid because that was a Ronald Reagan thing. It wasn't a Trump thing. But, the whole idea of make America great again. Well, you're talking about again, right? So the country was great at some point, right? The country's always been great. But, now you're sitting here saying we're going to make it better than it ever was and all sort of stuff. You're kind of downgrading it to the point where you're saying that, well, the country's always had these problems. The country's always been kind of fucked up and we're going to fix it. It's just, I don't know. I just get the air of, I mean, I know it's ego somewhat, but fuck me, man. It's like, come on, dude, just say we are going to bring back greatness to this nation that is the greatest in the world, but it could be better, something like that.
We are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country. Sunlight is pouring over the entire world. And America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment.
Okay, so this is where I have a problem with him, right? This is where I have the issue. You don't need to attack the person you just beat, right? You won. You're in office, right? This is your inauguration into office, right? And you got the two people sitting behind you that you beat up, right? So, to me, it's always been characteristic of like, you beat somebody up in a parking lot, you go have a beer with the person afterwards, you end up becoming friends and shit, right? As opposed to something like this where you're stepping on somebody's neck after they're fucking down already. I don't like that idea. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You beat Biden, you beat Kamala at this point, right? Well, Biden didn't technically run, but he should have been running, right? It shouldn't have been Kamala in the first place. But you beat him. You're in office. You're the winner. Stop fucking, stop doing this shit, right? You won. There's no reason to be the sore winner in this fucking scenario. And that's what I see it as. That's personally what I've seen it as. And he goes off on a tirade of all the things they fucked up, which, I mean, granted, they did, last 4 years has been shit. That's why everyone's been looking forward to this. That's why everyone's excited for this day. But nevertheless, man, it's easier to just come out and say, like, look, things are fucked up. I'm going to fix them. Right. The other thing is, there were rumors that Biden voted for him, and I think personally, in my belief, is Biden gave him this presidency. Biden put him in office. Biden was the one that was kind of railing against Kamala at the end there. He was pissed off because he lost, or they wouldn't let him run. And, and there were rumors that Joe Biden actually voted for Trump, or a red dress to go vote and stuff like that. I mean, there's those rumors, and I wouldn't doubt it, because supposedly Joe Biden hates Kamala. They don't get along. So in that case, this guy's your fucking ally, bro. I know he was your nemesis in the last election and all that shit, but fuck, let that shit die, man. Crush that shit. Be the bigger man. That's what I expect.
Has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly.
Now, he ain't wrong, dude. He's dialing it back, which is fine, But, straight up, dude, just say we have problems. These are our problems, and these are what we're going to fix, a lot of this is we now have this, we now have that. And the nerve-wracking part of it is you're setting yourself up, and I think that's what he's actually doing. He's setting himself up for, this is what I fixed. These were the problems that we had going in, and this is what I fixed, and it's a little bit of arrogance, a little bit of ego, which is fine. I think anybody that thinks that a president doesn't have to have an ego, shouldn't have an ego, is just full of shit. Any leader's going to have an ego. They're going to be arrogant as fuck. That's just the way it is. That's why you got into that position. You're the most powerful person in the world. And you got into that because, you got to have some form of arrogance and ego.
And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago, or more recently.
He doesn't mention Maui, but, whatever. It is what it is.
Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn from weeks ago without even a token of defense. They're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer.
Now, you don't have to mention the rich and the powerful losing their homes. You don't have to do that, bro. Like that's a bad look, right? Like you just say people lost their homes, man. And I know there were rich and powerful people up in those hills. And yeah, because I live kind of close to that. But you don't have to mention that, man. It just makes that whole you're creating an oligarchy thing, which is going around on Twitter right now into, it fuels that fire. You don't need to do that.
Longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to do anything about it. That's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of.
Well, Biden's over there falling asleep already. Kamala's she got that shit-eating grin off her face finally.
Themselves in many cases to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them. All of this will change starting today, and it will change very quickly. My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom.
And once again, you're attacking your rivals here, which sorry, man, but that is divisive as shit. Why is he wearing a purple tie? What's that about? What the fuck? But yeah, that's fairly divisive, man. You don't need to be saying shit like that, dude. Just straight up, world's fucked up, country's fucked up. We're gonna fix it, and here's how we're gonna do it. Don't push blame.
This moment on, America's decline is over. Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history, and I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can.
All right, so you don't need is another thing, man. You're talking about yourself here, right? I've learned a lot along the way. I've been, persecuted, all this sort of stuff, which is true. I mean, there's nothing wrong technically in what he's saying. I mean, any of this, there's nothing really wrong in what he's saying. The problem is, like, now you're making it on yourself. Like, I don't know, man. It's disjointed for I don't know. I just have issues with that.
I can tell you, those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
Now, I hope he's genuine in that. That's one thing that kind of bothers me. I hope he is genuine in that, right? Because, if he actually believes that he has a higher purpose, he has a higher calling, and me not being a religious person, but if he believes that, God saved his life at this point, then he has a higher calling. He has a higher purpose to do the right thing at this point, right? Then I'm happy. then that's a good thing. I don't know if I believe it, but I do kind of hope so. And I guess it does make sense that he brought it all back to himself, because he had to mention that, he had to get that out, and I'm glad he did get that out.
Thank you very much. That is why each day under our administration of American patriots, we will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
I don't know about all that. It's not it's America, bro. Like, you become president. You're not liberating us from America, man. You're not doing that. This is not a revolution. You became president, bro, and you got some things to fix, and that's what you're there for. That's just divisive rhetoric, and I don't really care for that. Not from this guy, you know. From other presidents, we've always seen it. It always will be a thing, but I kind of would wish that this guy would hold himself to a higher standard and knock off a lot of that stuff. But this has been a pattern for him consistently, right? He's always been a troll. He's an internet troll, and he's done very good doing that, right? That's why a lot of people love him and all that sort of stuff. I just would rather he look at fucking, to someone like Joe Biden and say, hey, man, in the end, we don't have to be fucking enemies. But when you throw that divisive shit out there consistently, it's kind of, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. I know Congress and the House, there's a shit ton of people that fucking hate him, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that, man. He's pissing off the right people. That's kind of scary, but it's a good thing.
It is my hope that our recent presidential election will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election in the history of our country. As our victory showed, the entire nation is rapidly unifying behind our agenda, with dramatic increases in support from virtually every element of our society, young and old, men and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans.
Starting to sound like campaign speech, man, which it's not, but I get what he's doing.
Urban, suburban, rural, and very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states, and the popular vote, we won by millions of people.
Yeah, I don't know if any of that was really necessary in this speech, but I don't know, whatever. I'd have to go back and watch other people's speeches, and they probably said the same damn thing, man. I know with this guy, if you go back and you listen to a lot of what Ronald Reagan said, he's a big Reagan fan because he stole a lot of things that Reagan says. And I mean, not saying it's wrong, but, the Make America Great Again, that was a Reagan speech. You can look it up. It's online. A lot of things that this guy, a lot of his views are based off of, Reagan's stuff.
To the Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it.
And it's funny that, like, Snoop Dogg, right? Snoop Dogg, of all people, is now backing this guy, right? Snoop Dogg was the biggest racist for a long time when he was running against Biden. Man, Snoop Dogg was racist as shit, but he was, or at least he was saying some racist shit. He's calling his fellow black people some really bad names, and it's interesting that he kind of turned the table. But even that, before that happened, my understanding is in 2020, before Trump left office, he actually pardoned somebody at Snoop Dogg's discretion that was the founding member of Death Row Records, and that person came back and took charge of Death Row Records. So he did Snoop Dogg a solid favor. And then after it, during the 2020 campaign, man, Snoop Dogg was shitting all over him. And that was during the time when he was asking for that pardon, which has always been kind of interesting. I don't think Snoop Dogg has ever really, had that viewpoint that he portrayed.
I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor. But in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true.
See, right here is not it's I don't think it's a problem. He didn't do it, but what I think would have been amazing right here is if he actually quoted King, because he will go into why he said what he just said. But if he quoted Martin Luther King and basically said, that a man shall be, defined by his character and not the color of his skin, he should have. I think it would have been more powerful if he would have actually quoted him directly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look at everybody standing, but a little crew there. And even Bill, good old Bill, he ain't standing up. Hillary's probably grabbing his hand, telling him, "You ain't standing for this shit." Yeah, you can tell who doesn't like him in the crowd for sure.
National unity is now returning to America, and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution, and we will not forget our God. Can't do that.
Now, I wonder, all these presidents push the God thing around. And to me, it's like, I guess kind of have to. This is more of a Christian nation than anything. But most of our laws and stuff are based off Christianity. But, I always wondered in the original term whether he was, just saying that like every other president does. George Bush, all of them, they all say that. Or if he actually meant it. At this point, I'm thinking he might mean it, man, because guy almost lost his life just trying to get here. But I don't know.
Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense.
Look at Biden. Biden's cracking up, man. He loves it. He's laughing. Campbell ain't too happy, but yeah, Biden's laughing about this thing.
First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. all illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy.
All right, so here's the problem with this, right? I hate this fucking idea. This is one of the things that I would not have voted for this guy over this shit. But immigration in America is fucked. It's broken as shit, and it always has been. And this is something I'm always kind of felt strongly about because I work with a lot of people that are undocumented, man. It is what it is. And I know people that are trying very hard to get their immigration status. And in fact, most of them are. The problem is it's not, what he said there is interesting because he worded it a little strange. He said illegal criminal aliens, right? So, but technically anybody that crosses that border illegally is a criminal in the eyes of the justice system. So, what are you actually saying here, right? Are you going to just start mass deporting everybody across that border? That's what it sounds like. And that to me, I have an issue with that, right? A lot of these people are hardworking people, right? They're, at least in California out here, we deal with a lot of it, right? So, your gardeners and, shit, my old maid was an illegal immigrant. And again, a lot of people I work with are, immigrants. And so, the problem is some of these people have been in this country for 20 years, 30 years. You're going to deport them, man? They've been working in your economy for 20, 30 years, and you're going to just fucking deport them. Now, Bush had a thing where he was trying to do amnesty and stuff like that. And I kind of agreed with that, I mean, as long as they're not over here breaking laws, murdering people, breaking into houses, doing stupid shit like that, you're fine in my eyes at some point. Now, I agree that you have to have borders, right? Every country has to have borders. You have to stop people from coming in just willy-nilly, man. You can't do what we've been doing the last 4 years. I agree with that. You're allowing anybody who wants to come into this country, which is scary considering how many people in the world actually hate this country and want to do bad shit to, our people out here. But, when you're talking about deporting people, right? The problem with our system is not that you have people who are coming in illegally. The problem is it takes forever. So his Remain in Mexico thing is very problematic because you're expected to, let's say, come up from Guatemala, right? And or Salvador. San Salvador is a big one, or it was for a while. Now it's kind of calmed down there. But I work with a lot of Salvadorians. So, when someone comes up from Salvador, you're expecting them to live in Mexico for 6 months while you figure out whether they're a good person or not. That is kind of an issue. There's a serious issue with that. You have the CIA, you have the FBI. They ain't doing all that much, man. When they're sending 15 people to go check out a fucking rope in a pool garage to see, what the fuck is going on, you have the manpower to speed up that process, for sure, right? And that's not what I'm hearing here, right? That's what I would expect. You got the CIA. They can check in on people, from other countries, figure out whether they're good or bad, whether they did shit in other countries, whether they came out of a prison in another country, because he will mention that. And he got flamed for that in the past, right? Because what was happening in some of these countries, and I think, I don't know if Salvador was one of them, but some of these countries were emptying their prisons and sending these people up north with the caravans. And that's why you had these massive caravans, right? They're emptying their prisons because it's expensive to hold somebody in a prison, even if it's a ramshackle prison like what you got in El Salvador, and and sending them up into our country, right? Let us deal with it. So you do have issues, right? And a lot of people, when they're coming up through the border, from what I've been watching on some, independent channels, is they're throwing their passports or their identification, whatever identification they happen to have. They're chucking it before they hit the border. They're just, getting rid of it, so that when they get to the border, they cannot be, you don't know who the fuck they are. There's no way to tell. And so that's what we got a CIA for, right? That's what CIA should be doing, shit like that. I mean, at least that should be one of their duties, man. I'm not saying that the CIA is completely fucking useless and everywhere in the world, but it shouldn't be doing other shit. But nevertheless, man, you have agencies that can deal with this and speed up this process of documenting people, bringing them into the country, right? And and you're going to expel all the bad, and you're going to bring in, the people that are here to work and make a better living for themselves. People don't come here, and this was something Trump said during one of his campaign speeches. He only said it once that I know of. Is that he said he wanted a merit-based or whatever the fuck. And this is something Elon Musk's been getting fried for recently, is they want some sort of merit-based immigration, right? People don't come here because they got, and Trump's, what he said in that speech was he wanted people to be able to prove they had $100,000 in the bank before they could come here, right? So he wanted the rich and the wealthy to come to this country. People that are already established, people that weren't going to be a drain on our economy. I get it. I understand where he's coming from. But at that point, who the fuck does that? Like, if you're doing very well in your own country, why the fuck are you going to come to America? You're going to come here for opportunity, not for, something like that, not just a fucking vacation. So basically, what needs to happen with immigration, in my eyes, is it needs to be sped up. It needs to be fucking fast tracked. You shouldn't have to live 6 months in fucking Mexico before you could figure out whether they're going to accept you into the United States or not, which it sounds like during this administration, it's probably not going to be a lot of people accepted. I mean, that's just the feeling I get. I could be wrong, but it's the feeling I get. And I don't like that. That's something I've always had an issue with this guy.
I will
speed up the process, man. 2 weeks. Figure it out in 2 weeks. If you can't figure it out in 2 weeks, your agency's doing something wrong.
end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
Now that I agree with, right? They should have done that a long time ago, man. I heard somebody one time say, to fix the immigration problem, all you got to do is put your military bases on the border. And anytime someone comes into a military base, that is a serious fucking crime. Your military who's on your payroll already will help with immigration. Somebody who walks on a military base is not going to be treated very kindly. And that'll be a good deterrent, right? And hey, it's your military, man. You're paying them. You could just add on extra duty to them, man. And I think that would be all right. But again, you need to speed up the fucking process, man. If you're going to let people come in, which you should let people come in, is speed up the fucking process, man. So you can figure out who the good people are, who the bad people are, separate them, and let the bad people stay down in fucking Mexico or wherever they're going to stay, which is going to cause problems down there. But honestly, it's not our fucking problem, man. You emptying your fucking jails to bring them up here. Yeah, that's your problem, man. Send them home. But again, if they're decent people, they're hardworking, they're people who want to come up here, have a better life for themselves, and they haven't been shitheads in their own country, they haven't been shitheads in our country, then let them in. It's fine, Again, this is a country of immigrants. It always was. And, you should always have a portal open for people to come into the country that want to, be in somewhat in what's a good word for that? That want to work for this country, want to. I can't even think of the word right now, but want to help this country, right? There will be a service to this country, right? And which is a bad word because not to say they're in servitude, but you know, people just want a better life for themselves. You know, you can let quite a few people into this country. It's not going to be that much of an issue. The problem is you can't let the bad people in, right? You can't let the criminals in. So these caravans, I mean, I don't know what the percentage is that you would kick out of this. You wouldn't allow in. I don't know. And if you have a problem with, figuring out who they were in their own country, who they are, if they threw their documents away and all that sort of bullshit, and okay, don't let them in. That's fine. Keep your shit, man. Bring your fucking Mexico ID or your El Salvadorian ID. Bring it up here, man. And that way we can go down to your government, use the CIA to go down to your government and say, okay, is this a good person or is this a bad person? Where the hell did they come from? Why are they coming up here? Straight up, dude. Just speed up the fucking process, man.
Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Now that's a weird one, man. Like that's weird. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess that's a strange one, man, because they're technically not. They're not terrorists in the colloquial sense, but okay. So they are sending drugs up. They're muling people into the country, right? Which you're about to stop that, right? That's a big industry that Biden created by opening up the borders, right? The coyote industry, which is huge, right? And those people are, bringing up the to pay for their service. A lot of them to pay for that service, they're bringing up the fentanyl and drugs and stuff like that the cartels need to get muled up here. But are they a terrorist organization? I'm not sure. Mexico should label them terrorist organizations, but they can't because, then politicians end up getting murdered by cartels. But I don't know if that's our fight. Our fight is against the drugs they're bringing in. Yes. You're about to finish the coyote. You're about to fix the coyote issue. So, which is also going to stop a lot of the drug sales, but you're always going to have drugs in this country. They'll figure out a way. Supposedly, right now, from what I'm hearing, is they're actually going up to Canada because they're ready for this. And the cartels are actually running up into Canada and manufacturing drugs in Canada because that border is a lot easier to cross and they can cross it daily. The same person can cross it every single day. That border has always been open, or a lot more open than the southern border. So they're going to find ways to get it in. So I don't know. Are they a terrorist organization? I don't know.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
Okay, again, nebulous statement, right? I'm gonna destroy all these criminal elements in other countries. And this is the way it's coming off to me. I'm going to destroy all these criminal elements in other countries that are bringing crime into our country, right? Bro, it don't sound like you're a peaceful president at this point. It sounds like you're about to wage war on cartels. And we've already been through the drug wars with Reagan. Again, this guy sounds a lot like Reagan. And that did not work, dude. That did not work at all. That was horrible. It was terrible.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
Kamala's scowling. Oh, you look at Jill back there, man. Oh, yeah, whatever.
The inflation crisis was caused by massive
And Bill's smiling.
overspending and escalating energy prices. And that is why today I will also declare a national energy
Shit, Bill's even got the zombie mouth going, man. He's liking this.
emergency. We will drill, baby, drill. America will be a manufacturing nation once again, and we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have, the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it. We will bring prices down, fill our strategic reserves up again, right to the top, and export American energy all over the world. We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet that will help to do it. With my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great American auto workers.
So I think there he's just placating the unions that voted for him. But I don't know. I don't really buy into the whole what do you call it? The global warming fucking bullshit. That was an Al Gore thing, and he's a fucking moron.
In other words, you'll be able to buy the car of your choice. We will build automobiles in America again at a rate that
Not in California, man. California, that guy kicked that can down the road pretty far, but by what, 2035? It's supposed to be all electric. We'll see. But of course, Newsom won't even be there. He'll be a fucking memory by fucking 2035. So that'll be someone else's problem. That's all he's doing is creating problems for the next person.
that nobody could have dreamt possible just a few years ago. And thank you to the auto workers of our nation for your inspiring vote of confidence. We did tremendously with their vote. I will immediately begin the overhaul of our trade system to protect American workers and families. Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens.
Now that's scary. You know, I understand where he's going with this. Made in America stuff again, but if he's legit about this, price is going to go up, man. Prices are going to go up.
For this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury coming from foreign sources.
Yeah, so basically you're getting taxed. You're all going to get taxed. The prices of everything is going to go up, and that money you're spending to to buy goods that are from overseas, which is we are a consumeristic economy. It's part of capitalism, but the money you're spending to uh, the inflated price that you're going to spend on this, because somebody is going to take the hit on this, right? It's not going to be the corporation. So these corporations are going to raise prices to cover the cost of tariffs and taxes, whatever this ends up being in the end. That price is going to get shifted onto the consumer, right? And the consumer is going to be paying for that. So the consumer is going to be paying more money for something, and then that money is going to be funneled right back into the government. It's not saving you money. It's not fixing your economy necessarily. It's fixing the government's economy. But the government's economy is based off their spending, and they just spend too much, and that's the issue.
The American
In my eyes.
dream will soon be back and thriving like never before. To restore competence and effectiveness to our federal government, my administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Now, see, that's where the money should come from, right? Is you need to clear up where the government's overspending. You need to kill that, and at that point, yeah, you'll probably have more money coming into the treasury. But the original idea that he stated before that is kind of sketchy at best.
After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
Now that's weird, dude. Like, that's weird. Um, I know Zuck's in his ear, and Elon's in his ear, obviously, so he knows what the government did to hide things like the Hunter Biden laptop and COVID stuff, all that sort of shit. So I know that the government did intervene to a big part, but what you're doing here is not fixing the problem, right? Because Facebook, X, Twitter, or whatever the fuck you want to call it these days, TikTok, all these things, they're not run by the government. So you could say the government shall not do this anymore, but that's already in the Constitution, that the government cannot restrict free speech. So what are you doing here? You're doing nothing. This is completely fucking pointless. You could do a presidential order saying the government shall not infringe on the rights of the people, and that's already in the Constitution. So this is pointless. It's absolutely fucking pointless. Enforce the fucking laws you already have. That's all you got to say, man.
Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Something I know something about. We will not allow that to happen. It will not happen again. Under my leadership, we will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law.
Now, how are you going to do that, bro? How are you going to do that, right? You got hammered by a court in New York. Yeah, and I mean, whether you think that was just or not, I don't think it was. But you got hammered by a court in New York, man. You could say the federal government will not do this again, but it's not the federal government that hit you, man. It's the fucking state of New York that hit you.
And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities.
Now that's a problem too, right? That's problematic, right? Because you're the president of the United States. You're not you're not the mayor of Los Angeles or let's say San Francisco or Portland for the best example. Portland, you're not the mayor of Portland. You couldn't do anything when you were president to stop the shenanigans that were going on up in there with the fucking Antifa shitheads. And you're definitely not the governor of Oregon. So there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. You tried once before, and the only thing you could do is go in there and put a bunch of people guarding courthouses, federal buildings, stuff like that. But yeah, this is a promise you don't have the power to keep, unless, of course, you're willing to put leverage on those people. I guess maybe that's now that I think about it, maybe that's a possibility. Is you're willing to withhold federal funds from those cities that don't police their people properly. But I don't know.
This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
And that's where the Martin Luther King saying would have come into place, right? Because that was exactly what he was saying with his speeches.
As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
That was just an FU, man. That was a troll.
This week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay. And I will sign an order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately.
All right, so he's ending the DEI program, which makes sense. That's totally, everything should be merit based, right? That's where we run into problems when you don't do shit like that, right? So, yeah, total agreement there. The government should never have a hand in something like that. And, in my personal belief, DEI is racism. It's open racism, right? It's tearing down civil rights, like Martin Luther King said, oh God, I can't even remember the quote now. But it's I don't know. My brain's fucking mush at this point. Listen to this stuff, but the idea is, you want a colorblind society, like you said. You don't want to focus on race or gender or anything like that, because all that is racism. So DEI is basically open, blatant racism. And it's just what it is. A person shouldn't be judged by whatever their skin color is or anything like that. They shouldn't be hired by that either, and that can go in all kinds of bad directions. So Newsom in California decided he wanted to, at one point, eliminate civil rights. He wanted to make it so you could hire based on race and all that sort of stuff, right? So what that does is that can go both directions, man. Racism goes in all kinds of fucking directions. So, at that point, Man, it's windy out here. I can't light cigarettes. Oh. So, at that point, you broke down civil liberties. You're saying that people can vote based, or people can hire you based on race, color, creed, whatever. And that could go bad. He was doing it because he was trying to pander to the African American community or whatever it happens to be, right? But at the same time, that means that a person can hire all white people if they wanted to. It could backfire. It's stupid to do stuff like that. Everything should be colorblind in society. There should be none of that bullshit. It should be illegal to hire based off of that, not legal to hire based off that. And that's what Newsom was trying to do, which, sorry, but guy's a fucking racist, man. That's fucked up.
Our armed forces will be freed to focus on their sole mission, defeating.
As far as COVID vaccine, yeah, dude, it was never labeled a vaccine, dude. It was just a shot, It was an experimental fucking thing, which I'm surprised because Trump was the guy who sped that into production. And, they waited, it seemingly waited until he got out of office to actually implement it. But, and I have all kinds of stupid, I think the COVID vaccine is bullshit. But with that, if it's not labeled a legitimate vaccine, then how can you force somebody to take it? It made no sense, And so, a lot of people were kicked out of the military and public service and stuff like that for refusing to take it. I agree with them, man. You should be forced to take something unless it's a legitimate vaccine.
America's enemies. Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families.
And you'll see everybody, even Kamala and Joe Biden, stand up to this one.
Thank you. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Now, this is just stupid. And you see Hillary Clinton over there laughing about this, man. Everyone's focusing in on this. But the fuck, dude? Who gives a shit? It's the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of fucking America. Who fucking cares, man? The fuck, dude? This is kind of clown show stuff.
We will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs.
I don't know much about the McKinley stuff. I don't know, why they scrubbed that or whatever that case may be. I don't know, but I don't fucking know, man. The Gulf of Mexico thing, it just sounds silly to me. It's silly. Who cares?
President McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal, which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made, and Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form, and that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't get.
Okay, hold on a sec here. I may have someone else who wants to come on here. All right, hang out a sec. I got to bring someone on. Wants to argue with me. Let's see. I just got to give them the address here. Let's see if they can get in here. I'm not sure. So give me a second. I want to get this. Okay. Yeah, I want to get this hammered out. If I can, I'm waiting for someone to get into the. I wish I could have started with this. Would have made things a little bit easier. I may have to start this over. Hey. So you're on. You're on. Yeah, you're on with me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So tell me if you can hear this thing. By the way, everybody, this is Diane A. Everyone knows her. Okay, so.
And I'm not coming to argue.
Oh, yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Give it to China.
So, yeah, so I've already gotten through most of this, man. I'm kind of, getting to the end of this a little bit, but. Yeah,
I was napping, and the best part's about to start.
What do you mean best part's about to start?
Oh, we're about to start signing all the executive orders soon.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm curious what he does. Let's start this. So tell me if you can hear this or not, because I know it's kind of quiet on my end.
China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
So here's the problem with the whole Panama thing. Like, I don't really know enough about
but I don't let it upset me.
I don't know how that operates. Like, I don't know enough about the Panama Canal to know how it operates or what the original deal was with them, because I've never looked into it. I know the Panama Canal's a fucking mess right now, but the thing is, like, the way he's saying it, and again, I don't know enough about it to understand it completely. But, like, you go into another country, you build a fucking thing through their country. It is technically their country, right? And we had a deal, and I forget how many years it was, 25 years, 50 years, whatever it happened to be, to be able to use it, I think, freely. And then I think eventually we gave it back to them. And I think it was kind of considered ours for a while there. But,
yeah,
now I don't know, like, how all that works. So I know that The problem they're having is China's running into these countries and they're building infrastructure. So my understanding of the way China operates with a lot of this shit is they go in there and they say, and I think the US ran like this also as well. And I think the Panama Canal is probably proof of that. But China will go into a country and say, we're going to build a highway, we're going to build a bridge, we're going to build a road, whatever the fuck, and you're going to pay us back. And the way you're going to pay us back is through basically, we're going to take control and we're going to make the money off of it. Or we're going to extract money from you or extract control from you. And I mean, to me, that's, yeah. And if China's controlling the Panama Canal, that's a huge, huge, huge issue. If Panama's controlling it, okay, it's their land, it's their property. But again, I don't know enough about the deals, what he did, but that's what he's talking about. He's talking about taking over the Panama Canal again. And you just missed the part where he said he's going to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Who cares? Who cares what it's fucking called? Doesn't fucking matter.
Funny.
It's funny, but it's stupid. It's like, what the? Nobody cares.
But
Nobody cares.
I'm gonna get my panties in a wad over it.
I know it's just dumb, dude. But why did you have to like? Are you that struggling to make up time to say that in your inauguration? It's just weird. It's weird.
I don't remember why that even started. It had something to do, I think, with the president of Mexico. So.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, it may
he
be
wasn't going to assist with the deportations and stuff at first, and the remain in Mexico or something like that. But I think all that's been settled now.
Well, apparently not, because he's still talking shit. But
do you think he's going to change? He is who he is.
Yeah, I know.
Accept it or don't.
He's had a couple trolls already. I mean, he did go up and say there's only two genders. So he's trolling.
I mean, he's not lying.
No, I didn't say he was lying. I didn't say he was wrong. I'm just like, this is a wonky inauguration speech. It's weird to me.
That part I thought was, oh no, I'm confused. See, I saw some of, he gives a second speech after this one, but it's not really a speech. It's more like he's just talking to the crowd. But I saw a lot of that one, so I'm confused. I didn't see this one. I was at the doctor.
Oh, okay, yeah. This one was it was wonky. It was strange. It's very strange.
Above all, my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together, we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free.
What's the chronic disease epidemic? What is that?
Well, it's, so many people in the U.S. especially have cancer, obese, diabetes. Okay. And RFK Jr. really believes that it comes from the things that are in the food. I don't know if you know, like in the past week, the FDA is banning red dye number 3, which California did first, because it has been linked to cancer. It's linked to issues in children with ADHD, things like that. So that's what he's referring to, where we're just letting our food be poisoned. I mean, they put fluoride in your water.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah,
not good for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering what that was about, because I don't. Yeah.
Well, that's what it's about, and that's like kind of the whole point of partnering up with RFK.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, well, that's RFK's thing. I think he partnered up with RFK for political reasons, but I think RFK.
Well, yeah, but that was kind of one of the things that.
It was capitulation to RFK to get him on board. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not wrong. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad.
Not at all.
I'm just saying that, I didn't know what that meant when he was talking about it.
Yeah. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our.
Okay, so that was weird, right? Expands our territory. increases its wealth and expands our territory. Yeah, who you annexing, bro? Like people are freaking out about this on Twitter,
Greenland.
man. Yeah, Greenland. We're gonna take over Greenland. I mean, people on Twitter are freaking the fuck out over that, man.
Well, because they're big old
hilarious.
babies. They worry too much
Oh, I know,
about the
but
wrong things. About the
I
wrong
know, but it's
things.
always funny to see the. But it's a weird thing to say, right? We're gonna expand our territory, man, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck that even means. Like, I have no idea what that means. It's kind of sketchy.
Cities raises our expectations and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars,
Oh,
launching
shoot, I gotta
American
answer the phone. Hold on.
astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the
Yellow.
planet Mars.
What?
Hey, man. One sec.
Ambition is the lifeblood of a great nation. And right now, our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation. Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts.
So you came in the good part, man. He started off this whole thing by being a little strange, and in the beginning of this, he was like, he kind of had the air
Was
of
it really?
like in the beginning, it had the air of like America's fucked up. It's shit. We got to fix it. We're gonna make it. You know, we're gonna make America. You know, great. You know, not the whole great again thing, which is the Reagan speech, but we're going to make America great. It's going to be the greatest nation it's ever, been, and all sorts. But he had this air of like, America's fucked. America's shit right now. And we're
Did
going
he
to,
say that? That's just your perception.
I know it was my perception, but that's how
And
I
you're
felt
kind
in
of
the beginning.
twisting it.
And now he's going through, and now he's kind of got this, you know, uh, this once great nation, whereas before it wasn't really that. I don't know. I'd have to play it again for you. It's crazy.
The call of the next great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers.
Isn't that crazy that you're the ancestors of these people, like, fought bears to survive, made their own homes with their own hands, and now we're dealing with the offspring of that, and they're a bunch of fucking idiots that can't figure out like which bathroom to use. Fucking insane, dude. I don't know how these people are the offspring of fucking badasses that survive these fucking
That would
harsh
include
conditions.
us.
I agree. But I mean, come on, dude. I mean, I'm not sitting here bitching over
I'll fight a
fucking
bear.
gender roles. I don't give a shit. But yeah, all these people, everybody's alive today, man, or are descendants of survivors that dealt with some really crazy shit in the past, man. Survived some really harsh stuff. And their fucking descendants are this? It's fucking crazy.
When the Wild West ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand. If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do and no dream we cannot achieve. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken.
A little bit of ego there. Had to throw the ego in.
I stand before you
He gave
now
the
as
people
proof
credit.
that you should never believe that.
You can look like at the crowd in the back, like you could see the division, the dividing line. People standing up and the people not. Hillary and Bill. Bill's funny because Bill's laughing through this whole thing. He's like smiling the whole time. Hillary kind of goes back and forth a little bit. Biden just seems lost as always. It's just Biden. It is what it is.
Is
And then,
Obama there?
yeah, he is, but I don't think you can see him in the shot.
Oh, okay.
I
I
can't.
thought he was
Yeah,
there. I knew he was there earlier.
yeah. He mentioned him in the beginning, so he's got to be out there somewhere. But I don't see him in the shot unless he's the one sitting behind Jill. But I can't tell.
Yeah,
I
Michelle's
didn't.
not
I don't.
there.
Oh yeah, but nobody gives a shit.
Have you heard
about
there's speculation that they're having marital troubles
Michelle.
because he's went places without her? And
Oh,
everybody that didn't go everywhere with their spouse was in marital trouble. Jeez.
yeah. Well, that's Twitter for you. The yeah, but she's irrelevant as fuck, dude. I'm seeing on like I said, I've been trolling Twitter a little bit, and I keep seeing these people like talking about how it's a big deal that Michelle Obama's not there. Dude, she's irrelevant. Who gives a fuck if she's there or not? Nobody fucking cares. But the lefties are out there, en masse saying, "Oh my God, you're all pissed off that Michelle Obama's not gonna be there." No, dude, nobody cares. Nobody's pissed off. The only people that are pissed off are the fucking lefties that are fucking making a big deal out of it. You're
Yeah.
saying people are pissed off. It doesn't make it true. So yeah, it's just like it's spin. It's dumb spin.
Mm-hmm.
That's something.
Just like his thing the other day, this bullshit. What did he say? Oh, he said he just said it wrong, dude. I mean, just stop talking about the old election, dude. You won, dude. But he said, due to election interference, I'm going to be the president during the Olympics. And that's what he was saying. He's like, due to election fraud, I'm going to be the president during the Olympics. And it's like, dude, that does not sound good. Like, it sounds way wrong, dude. And I understand the context of it, because I'm not stupid.
And so
But
does everyone else.
so do a lot of people. But it's just one of those things where it's like, dude, stop stop. We're done with 2020, dude. Nobody wants to go back to that fucking shit. Just talk about now, man. And that's what kind of drives me nuts, dude. He holds these grudges. He's got this huge chip on his shoulder, which I understand, but he holds these grudges, and it's like, dude, you won. Stop stepping on the neck of the people that you fucking won against.
Well, I get it. I mean, I agree to a point of what you're saying is, yeah, that part is done. There's nothing you can do about it now, and unless you want to prove something and hold someone accountable if something illegal was done, for sure. But at the same time, I think it's in ways it's best to move on. But if there was something criminal going on, I think it's important to find out because it could happen again.
Well, I think if there was something criminal going on, what he needs to do is shut the fuck up, let the sick the Justice Department on it, have them deal with it, and then have them bring it out, and then you can talk.
Well, no one can be held accountable now. Everybody's been pardoned.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You still throw an investigation out there, and
I mean,
you
he
figure
even
it
pardoned
out.
his family.
Yeah,
I didn't realize anyone besides his brother and Hunter were even accused of anything.
I think the problem is, with the way Trump talks is, and I don't think a lot of it's serious, but I think they're probably afraid that maybe he's actually legit with his vindication. And maybe, he would go after people,
Yeah, but they act when anyone claims that the DOJ, et cetera, was weaponized against Trump, they claim that it's just not possible, but they think Trump can do it against them.
Oh, they know it's possible.
And that's exactly what they're worried about. They think they're gonna be he's gonna come after them. But at the same time, is it because they know they did something?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think they're all criminals, and I think, they say that the average person, I forget what, they break like 13 laws a day or something stupid like that. I mean, everybody's a fucking criminal in the eyes of the law at some point,
because especially like why pardon the J6 committee? Why are they pardoned?
Oh, well, yeah, that's going to be.
I mean, supposedly they were only investigating what happened on January 6th. So why would they need a pardon?
I don't know. We'll see what happens on that. I mean, it could be that they're accusing these people of a crime, and once you figure out that they were, if they were
Well,
hiding
Liz Cheney
evidence,
was accused of witness tampering during that committee.
yeah. So a lot of that stuff, when that comes out, they could actually be looked at as criminals in some form or another. I mean,
And if they legit did something, now they can't be held accountable.
yeah, they can't, but you still got to have an investigation, right? You'd still investigate
And I
it.
think there will still be an investigation, even though
There should be.
they've been pardoned. Yeah, I agree. I hope there is. There should be.
Yeah. And so that would be why he pardoned everybody, because they're afraid of, oh my God,
You could
what
do an investigation, put out a report. At least then you have the transparency and you know what happened one way or the other.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
what's crazy about it is it sets precedence for your office, right? Because now you pardon these people, and if they're found guilty of crimes, then you're kind of complicit in it, because now you're admitting that you took their side on this thing. And how I would look at it as, okay, were you helping to coordinate this, because in the end you pardoned them, so you were at some point implicit on their criminal activity, if it turns out to be criminal.
But at the same time, the only ones I feel for sure Joe Biden pardoned were Hunter and his family. The rest, I don't know that Joe was the instigator of that and that someone wasn't pulling the puppet strings.
Yeah, possibly not, but it still looks bad on him. It goes back
absolutely.
into his cabinet.
Absolutely. I mean, of course he, I get that he, we've talked about this. I get that he pardoned Hunter. Don't blame him. Why not? I would too. We know he did stuff wrong. Yeah. But,
Yeah.
But when you pardon people that have not even been officially like accused or indicted of a crime, that's really fishy to me.
Well, I think didn't Trump do a little bit of that? Didn't he pardon some people that were not yet convicted of anything?
I don't recall. No,
well, he's
but
going
you
to
look
pardon
at
the
it.
January
Steve
6th.
Bannon, he is now. But I don't think everyone. I had been hearing everyone, but I do feel like I think that it's mainly the people that were nonviolent that were allowed in, walked in, did nothing wrong, other than walking in, but were allowed in. Grandma walking around taking pictures. Why is she in jail?
Yeah.
For 4 years without a hearing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that, like, I could see.
But even like people like Roger Stone, there were people he could have pardoned that he did not pardon.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he didn't pardon anybody in his personal orbit, but I don't recall it at this point.
Yeah,
I have to look into it. I don't remember.
I don't know I don't know most of the people he pardoned.
I mean, Steve Bannon went to jail. Then who was there? There was there's been several. The ones that were got in trouble and accused of stuff during the Russia hoax.
Sorry.
What was that?
That was you talking. I was just
that was terrible.
I accidentally hit play on my
I'm not going to talk anymore. I sound funny.
No, you don't. You sound like you. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one, Yeah, the pardons are tough. I mean, he did pardon Snoop Dogg's buddy, and now Snoop Dogg's kissing his ass, which is funny because, to me,
Snoop Dogg said that he would not play for him.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg was like, he was.
But technically, I don't even think Trump was at that party, was he?
Yeah, but it's still weird, man, because it showed some form of unity. So,
we wouldn't want that, would we?
Snoop Dogg was saying some of the most racist shit, when Trump was running last time, talking all kinds of mad shit. even though
Oh, yeah,
Trump
he
was.
even made the video where he shot Trump in the head.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? The music video that had Trump in
No,
it? And,
no.
oh,
And
yes.
then but he was bad. He was just saying some racist shit towards black people at the time that supported Trump. And yeah, he was horrible. And then, at the same time that was happening, Trump was pardoning his the head of Death Row Records for Snoop Dogg because Snoop Dogg asked him to. And that guy came back out and, one of the founding members of Death Row. And then that guy came out and I believe took over Death Row at that point.
Oh, yeah, he did. He did.
And so it's like he did him a favor, and at the same time he was constantly attacking him. And then now all of a sudden everybody's turning around, right? Everybody, like, Zuck turned around, Snoop Dogg turned
I'm
around.
still not convinced of the Zuckerberg thing. We'll see.
Yeah, well, it's just but I think it's all
And
political.
Bezos, where did that come from?
Yeah, and NPR's like
But
completely
Bezos was at the inauguration today.
Oh, was he? I didn't know that.
Yes. And he's been at like the balls and parties and stuff this weekend.
I think they're all just kissing ass because they probably know that, I'm guessing, right? Trump is good for business, right? You better get on his fucking team right now because if you don't, you're going to get screwed. You may get crushed. And I think, I don't know. It just seems like the politics the last time was very left leaning. Everybody leaned to the left, because they saw it as the winning team. And then now the pendulum swung, man. Everybody's jumping on the Trump train, which, I mean, I don't know. For Zuckerberg, I mean, what would you do, right? You got kind of hammered by the Biden administration. They were yelling at your people, telling them to what to censor, what to not censor, and stuff like that. Now all of a sudden Trump's in charge, so now you better kiss his ass, man, because this guy could do some damage to you.
Yeah.
He's the winning team. So I think everyone's just jumping on that bandwagon, man. And it kind of tells you something about the last elections. Like all these people that were supporting these Democrats are a bunch of fake fucking people. They'll support anybody who's winning.
For sure.
Anyways, let's see.
Thing is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best. From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward.
And they must be so proud of their great grandchildren because they can't figure out which restroom to use.
They're rolling over in their graves.
It's fucking hilarious, dude. Those people, like, you think about it, like, those the people of that day and age, man. You talk about like which restroom to use, they wouldn't give a fuck. They just like go piss in a corner. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Those are the manly people that we come up from. Now everyone's fucking arguing over which restroom to use.
And let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed over every single challenge that they faced. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America's promise, and we will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future.
He mentioned God like that's the third time. That's the third time he mentioned God. So yeah, he's pushing the Christian thing pretty hard.
But I don't, some people may take it he's pushing that. I think he's pushing where Christians have not I don't know how to word it. Kind of, everybody can be proud of their religion except for Christians. Well, and these
Well,
days, Jews. You can't be Jewish either.
yeah, but what I'm saying is like, I what I said earlier is I hope it's genuine, right? And I believe it's possible that it is, right? Because this motherfucker almost got killed, and so I hope the idea that he feels like, you can see right there his ear looks a little fucked up, man. Um, you know, I hope that this is like genuine, that this guy actually did see, you know, that, or it does feel like he has a higher purpose in life, which means that he's willing to do the right thing and do a good thing, and that this is not just bullshit. So I hope all the Christian rhetoric that he's throwing out there, which, I hope it's not actually rhetoric, that he's legitimate about it.
Yeah, I think the feeling I always get is that I think he believes in God. He believes in like the Christian doctrine. He and was raised to believe those things. I just don't think he's necessarily what I mean. He's not a Bible thumping Christian. That's probably not even the best way to put it either. Um, I wouldn't. I'm not going to question somebody's salvation, on whether or not they're, you know, saved, is how a Christian puts it.
Yeah, yeah,
But uh, but you can be, a believer in Christianity and not be saved,
yeah. I just,
and you can be not be saved, but still believe all the things should be as the Bible says, etc. If that makes sense.
well, the I think we live in a Christian nation, right? And I think our laws and you know I think our country is based off of Christianity, and so God, I forgot where I was going with that. With him, I felt that every president up until this point always claimed to be a Christian, right? Every single one, whether they're good, bad, it didn't matter. It was just a talking point for them to get elected. And what I felt with this guy is possibly this first term was that, like, maybe he is, but
Absolutely. I sometimes felt the same way.
yeah. So I felt that was
Sometimes it feels
talking.
awkward. It feels awkward
Yeah, and
when
this
he says
time,
things. But yeah, I mean, uh, he knows that he came within millimeters of losing his life.
yes, and I think that does something to you. I would hope
It
that
would
does
have to.
something to you.
I would think.
Yeah. And so, I'm hoping this time it's sincere, because even though I'm not a Christian, and that's just not my thing. I do believe that the world is a better place under Christianity than not.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people that aren't Christians that feel the same way.
Yeah, and I do believe Christianity is a tool for good, even though it's sometimes manipulated. But I do believe if the world was completely Christian, it would be a much better place. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
But the morality um, is good.
Yeah,
Sure. I am with you. I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We're going to win like never before.
typical Trumpism.
Thank you. Thank you.
Never get tired of winning.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Joe's smiling, Kamala's frowning. I don't see Obama over there, but I don't know where he's at.
Thank you. In recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power will stop all wars and bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable. America will be respected again and admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill. We will be prosperous. We will be proud. We will be strong and we will win like never before.
More winning.
We will not be conquered. We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken. And we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation.
See, that kind of stuff, it kind of gets to me. The from this day on, dude. America has been a free and sovereign nation. It just goes through, times.
Well, when you factor in some of the things that have happened with, when you think about censorship and things like that that have gone on over the last 4 years, have you been free completely?
Well, there's never a complete freedom in any society, in any um, kind of government. You're never going to have complete freedom because complete freedom is anarchy, and
But
that's just
yeah,
never
but
worked.
but you're talking about something that our Constitution says that we're supposed to have, and we haven't had it.
Yeah, I mean, but just the way he words things like that, it kind of, you know,
I
um,
just think you're digging deep. You're
I
digging deep.
am. It just bothers me that, like, it'd be easier just to say, we'll bring back our freedom, we'll bring back this, we'll,
But why
you
would we
know,
bring it back if we haven't lost it?
or we are going to continue to be, the freest nation in the world, and we're going to fix our problems that we've, accrued throughout the years. But I don't. I'm just, yeah, I'm nitpicking,
You
but
just seem a little sensitive today.
no, I'm just nitpicking. I'm just being that way. I'm just digging through this, man.
Okay, carry on.
We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly. And nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours. And our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
He speaks to a smaller crowd after this, and he even talks about that there were things that he wanted to say, but Melania told him not to say them.
That's good. He needs a
But he said
censor.
them there. But
He
it was a
needs.
smaller, more Trump, pro-Trump crowd instead of the kind of mix of everyone.
Let me see if they
It
have it
was,
here. I don't know if
I
they
think
do.
it was, there's a crowd that he was gonna, I think a lot of congressmen and things like that, from, congressmen and women, uh, and stuff that they were gonna have the congressional luncheon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that is on here. I think. Let's see. I'm looking.
It's in a
I can't.
completely different room. So,
I can't tell. Yeah, if that's if they have that on C-SPAN here. I'm sure they do somewhere, but I don't want to get through all the pageantry and shit. But yeah, I mean, he's not wrong in a lot of this shit, but it's like some of what he said, it's like, dude, come on. You know, um, a lot of you know, I always felt like what he should have done, is he should have came out and basically kind of been like a unifier in the beginning. He should have come out and said, "Hey, look, you know, uh, we won this. We're gonna fix some of the problems that we had in the past. We're gonna fix all the problems that were created, and not really throwing blame around. You know, just to not be divisive at all in any respect. To kind of show that he's the bigger man, right? So that when you end up with these people talking shit about him, you could say, "Hey, look, man, I'm trying to work with you guys and you guys are shitting on me, dude. What the fuck?" Instead of them being able to say, "Oh, look at what he's saying. He's saying it's all our fault," and all sort of bullshit. I don't know. That was a little frustrating for me. Let's see if this is yeah, this is, I think, towards the beginning here. Um I can't. Let me see if I can find it. It starts off. Yeah, it's up here.
justices of the United States Supreme Court,
So here's where he just thanks everybody.
President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins.
See, look at Clinton right there, man. He's got the zombie mouth going, man. He's invested. Love it. And Hillary's just pissed.
Right now.
But he starts this off with a lot of the, you guys fucked up and I'm going to fix it.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer.
See, to me, he could have ended it right there, walked off stage, and I would have been like, dude, that was great. I would have been like, this guy's a boss, dude. He just comes out, says that, and just walks off.
I missed it. I'm sorry.
Drop the freaking microphone. Here.
Play it again. Sorry.
Let me see if I can find it.
You didn't have to go back that far.
Find that moment. This is the beginning.
Trump.
Yeah, they're arriving for the inaugural parade now, so I was.
Oh. Like, I should have waited for you to wake up, man. I should have started this whole thing with you.
I know. I'm sorry. I need a nap. But I'm sure you didn't think I would come on.
No, I didn't think you would. You never do.
You don't do these nights. You know, it's hard. I'm getting a side eye from a dog right now.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Well, thank you very, very much. Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Senator Thune, Chief Justice Roberts, justices of the United States Supreme Court.
Look at Bill. Look at Bill. Bill's like, he's invested, man. I love it.
I'm on my phone. Bill looks
President
really small.
Clinton.
What's up?
I said, because I'm on my phone, Bill looks really small. I have to zoom in.
Oh, he's like grinning like an idiot.
President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins right now.
Okay, I saw Bush.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
See right there, dude. Drop the mic,
Yeah.
walk off stage, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That would have been an A+, man, right there.
Can we get the Trump dance, though? I want to see the Trump dance.
You want to see what?
The Trump dance.
Does he do it?
Not here, no.
Oh.
Our sovereignty
He did it last
will be
night.
reclaimed.
Oh, did he?
Our safety
Yes,
will
they
be
had
restored. The scales of
Village
justice
people.
will be
Oh, yeah, I saw that. He stayed on stage while they were playing.
So
That was
great.
goofy as shit.
It was so great.
rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end.
You
And
need to
our
switch
top
over to the
priority
parade.
will
He's
be
supposed
to
to
create
speak
a
there
nation that
Is there a parade going on right now?
soon. Oh, you didn't have to do it yet.
Oh, I'm just looking. It's not
But yeah,
on
live. He's
this feed right now.
He's there.
I don't think this is live anymore.
is proud,
This stream,
prosperous, and free.
the C-SPAN stream.
Oh yeah, they might be switching out between things or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
America will soon be greater.
it says he's supposed to
Stronger
speak at the
and
inaugural
far
parade.
Let me see if I can find some on that. Let's see. What are
Well,
we
can you
doing?
continue to let him speak? I'll be quiet.
Okay. I just don't want to do it over you.
More exceptional than ever before.
See, that's what I'm talking about, like than ever before kind of stuff. It's like, yeah.
He's always said that sort
I
of thing,
return
though.
to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country. Sunlight is pouring over the entire world. And America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad.
See, that's where you start to get divisive, right? That's where you
But
start
it's the
pushing around.
truth.
I didn't say it was wrong, or I didn't say it was
And he
not
didn't say
factual.
it harshly.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's divisive. It's like I said, you come out, you say, we're gonna fix this shit, and that's it. Um, yeah, it feels like he's slinging blame a little bit. I mean, okay, so to me, it's like I don't mind, he does this stuff at rallies, and that's fine. It's not a big fucking deal. But this is like the inauguration. So I feel like the standard should be a little higher here than it is for, a typical Trump rally. And so that's I think where my disconnect is I expect this to be like, look, this is what we're gonna do. Our country has issues. We're gonna fix these issues. This is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix this, and we're gonna do this. Not, our country's fucked because prior administrations have fucked things up, and that's it's just I guess it's just a me thing. I that's what I expect.
It fails to
I just
protect the
don't see it the same, but that's me, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay, so yeah, there's no what are they doing right now? They're doing some weird thing going on right now. So yeah, I'm
The
not really
inaugural parade.
afraid.
our magnificent law abiding American citizens, but provide sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world.
Now see, like with that, you know, I know he got in a lot of trouble for saying that shit in the past. He said it a little bit better here. He didn't say the, rapists and stuff like that coming over. But, my understanding of like, and I spoke about this earlier, man. So this is all regurgitated. But, my understanding of what happened in a lot of these countries like El Salvador and some of these places down south is they were emptying their prisons and sending them up as caravans into America to get rid of all their prisoners, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a drain on their economy. And they were just sending them up here to let us fucking deal with them. And I think that's kind of what he's talking about here.
Yeah.
We have a government.
I mean, and I don't know. I think we've talked about this a million times, but the problem with immigration is like because he actually said he wants to put the military on the border, which I think is a good thing. That's what he needs to do. But you have the immigration's like a huge fucking issue with me because you have people who have been in this country for a very long time, 20, 30 years or something like that. And when you start talking about mass deportations, Bush failed when he tried to do the amnesty. I believe it's the amnesty bill. I think it failed. And I work with a lot of illegal, immigrants. And so like, a lot of these people are just here they've been working in this country for a very long time and they're just trying to make a living and trying to make a better life for themselves. So those people, I don't see a problem with them being in this country and staying here. So when he talks about when he talks about like mass immigration, or mass deportations, that to me is a scary issue because it's like the problem isn't with the deportations necessarily. The problem is with an open border for sure. But the problem is the system of somebody getting to becoming a citizen of this country is so just bloated and overblown that it's kind of ridiculous. So he talks about how he's going to keep his remain in Mexico policy. He's going to restart that or whatever. And I don't see that as feasible, right? Because it's very difficult for somebody,
It
to
worked
come.
before.
I don't know if it worked. I wouldn't say it worked, but if you talk to if you look at it from the perspective of you come up from a country like Venezuela, who's having a lot of problems right now, and you have a lot of refugees coming up from Venezuela looking for a better life than what they got down there because that place is fucked. Um, telling them you gotta like survive in Mexico until we can figure your shit out is problematic because it can take up to 6 months for somebody to even get an answer whether they're accepted or not. And that's problematic, right? Because 6
Well, then
months
quit coming.
surviving in Mexico for 6 months is very problematic, right? So you're looking at, especially like I said, Venezuela, I believe right now is anarchy, and they're having serious issues, and those people are flooding, up, into different. Now, you could say they go to El Salvador, try to make a life there, or whatever. But a lot of these people are coming to America because the borders have been open and they have a promise of something, and they'd have the best life in America as opposed to any other South American country. But the Trump did a thing. He did a rally at one point. He said, we're going to do our immigration policy is going to be, and this was during 2020. We want people that can prove that they have $100,000 in the bank. I think it was 100,000, if I remember right, was the number in the bank before they can come into this country. Well, that's stupid because people don't come to America because they're doing very well in their own country. They come to America because they don't have opportunity in their country. So,
Well, that's not 100% true.
well, yeah, I know, but I think the
But
majority.
honestly, though, I don't think that he's. I personally don't think that person has been here for 20 years and is their only crime was coming here illegally has that much to worry about.
I hope not, and
I
that's
really don't think
what
so.
makes me
And
nervous.
and what's been out there is what they're focused on first is um
Criminals. It should
violent
be, yeah, it
criminals,
should
not
be.
just criminals, violent criminals. And then the next priority would be, other criminals.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You know,
obviously, everybody that comes in illegally is a criminal in the eyes of the
and then
law.
somebody leaked the plan, and so now they've had to change how they're going to do things.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they had plans for raids in Chicago today, I think.
oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I think what needs to happen, right? And what they need to do to fix that problem is not any of this fucking nonsense, right? It's they need to you need to speed up the process of immigration, right? So you instead of someone having to sit in Mexico for 6 months, you knock it down to 2 weeks, and yeah, okay, somebody could probably survive. If they're, you know, hopefully they can survive in Mexico for 2 weeks before they come in. Okay, now your remain in Mexico policy makes sense. The 6 month bullshit, because like I said, I've dealt with this, and I know that one person in particular was waiting 6 months for their court case to go through to get their citizenship, and 6 months is not feasible. That person is in the States, they're working, they've been working here for 20 years, and they're they've been fighting this battle for quite a while. And but you have the CIA, you have the FBI, you have all these institutions that can figure out who people are, what they've done in their countries. We have relationships with other countries, and as people were coming up to the border, I was hearing stories because I watched a couple people that were interviewing some of these people that were coming over, and what you have is supposedly is these people are ditching all their identification before they hit the border. So they carry their identification up through Mexico, and as they're coming over the Rio Grande or whatever they're doing, they're ditching all their identifications. They can't be figured out by the American government who they are once they get here, and they can start a new identity, or not have an identity, basically. And that's problematic, right? So you could sit here and say, well, because then you can't figure out, like, where did they come from, what are they doing here, why did they leave their country, who are they? You can't even go to their
Well,
country
yeah,
and
and
say,
that's
hey,
a problem. That was like a huge problem with especially the Biden administration is they didn't care. They let them in anyway.
yeah. And that,
And that's been the concern, and a big concern, because you don't know who you're letting in, what their motives are. Are they really coming here for a better life, or are they coming here to take ours?
yeah,
And
I
I
agree.
don't mean like, I mean, kill us,
Yeah, I
You've
agree.
got
Yeah, I know.
people that, terrorists and stuff coming through the border, and and but you and trust me, like, it's not like I'm heartless, and I don't feel for these people that are truly coming here for the right reasons, even though they're not doing it the right way. I feel for them. I have compassion for them, but at the same time, we have our own people that are suffering. And instead of taking care of them, we're taking care of someone else. And I don't think that you're going to take care of a stranger before you take care of your own family. And I look at my fellow Americans as my family, and I feel like they should be taken care of before I take care of someone else.
Yeah, I agree with
I
you.
mean, you look at the people in North Carolina, you look at in Tennessee, and now, even the people in California with the fires, not to mention already all the homeless around this country, and especially like people that have put their life on the lines for this country, and they're homeless.
Yeah,
I just feel
I
like
agree.
they
I
should
agree with
come
all that.
first. And instead, we're spending billions and billions and billions on other people, but treat our own citizens like they're worth nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got people in North Carolina, and the temperatures like this week here are going to be really low. I mean, it is freezing outside right now, and you've got people in North Carolina still living in tents.
yeah. No, I know, I agree with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, like, as an overarching problem, and a long-term solution, what you need to do with immigration to fix the issues that they
And there
have with it.
definitely needs to be a long-term solution.
Yeah.
But I don't think a long-term solution can be made today with an executive order.
No,
So
but
you're
I'm not.
doing what you can today, and it takes legislation, and it has to be agreed upon and passed. And
But see, I don't see that as what I'm saying is I don't see that long-term solution as something that anybody's ever been interested in, including him, and he hasn't spoken on that. So, like, straight up, what I would like to see from any fucking politician is just, hey, look, we got to speed the process up. This takes too fucking long. Get people into this country. We're going to, stick the CIA and the FBI and all these government institutions that really have nothing to do other than just fuck things up. We're going to sick them on this immigration issue. The CIA is going to be down there in Venezuela saying, hey, we got a guy up at our border. This is his name. What the fuck is he doing here? Did he come out of one of your prisons, or did he come out of, whatever? And figuring all this shit out on a daily basis and putting everyone to work. And then you cut that time down to where it takes 2 weeks to get people in, right? And it's in that 2 weeks, now you're going to solve a couple problems there, right? Because you're figuring out who these people are. And if they're the negative kind of people, then you're going to turn them the fuck around. really quick, and you're going to start building a file on these people. You're going to know next time they try to come to this country, yeah, fuck you, you're not coming here. And so you're going to eliminate the bad. You're going to bring in the good. The good people are actually going to come in here and hopefully contribute to society and actually get jobs and start paying taxes, because now they are natural citizens. Now they have, social security cards, all that sort of stuff, or numbers, so that they can actually come in here and work, and contribute, right? They're going to be paying taxes, all that bullshit, right? And that's a good thing, right? Because now you're helping to separate the good from the bad, instead of just opening up the fucking border or closing the border, and that would be fine. Now, I get that right now the temporary solution would be to close the border completely, deport as many as, deport people, especially based off criminal status, right? If you can figure out whether they're criminals or not, deport all those fucking people who are violent criminals for sure. But theoretically, everybody who crosses that border is a criminal, because it's
Yes.
an illegal crossing. And so that, like I said, I don't have all the solutions, but I think the biggest solution would be to just speed up that process, man. Sick your FBI when they got all these people to go look at a pull rope in a fucking garage. Sick those people down on the border and figure this shit out, right? Speed up that process.
Oh,
You
for
gotta,
sure. It definitely takes too long. It should not take as long as it does.
yeah, and that's my thing, and I think the reason it takes so long is more of a deterrent than anything, but that's not what we need, dude. We need, you need to sit there and just speed up the process, figure out who the good people are, who the bad people are, let the good people in, instead of just having this thing where, everyone's just trying to get in any way they fucking can, because it just takes too fucking long. So why go through the official process when you can just skip the border and, skip that whole process? That, to me, that's an issue. I don't know. And then I'm trying to think what the other thing was he said that I was kind of like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? I just had it in my head and now I kind of lost it. The Gulf of Mexico thing is goofy. That's just goofy. But yeah, that was kind of a big one, man. Immigration has always been a big one for me. I don't like the way the immigration system works in America.
Yeah, but that's not on him. He's trying.
Oh, it's not on him. No, but like I said, I would like to see any fucking president come in and just say, look, we're going to speed this shit up. We got to get this shit rolling because this is kind of bullshit. But yeah, I don't see anything happening. I see right now, it
It's the
says
parade
soon
right now.
President Trump speaks at Capitol One Arena.
Yes, they're at the Capital One Arena. That is where the parade is being held. They did not hold it outside. They moved everything inside
Yeah, and I get
because
that.
of the weather, and I'm sure even if
I'm
they're
sure
not saying it, the
security.
security. Um,
I'm willing to bet security was the main thing.
yeah,
I
but
think weather's an excuse.
it is like 10 degrees there. So
Yeah, but still, people would walk
yeah.
on glass to see his diehard supporters will
Oh
walk
yeah,
on
the
glass to
people in
see
that
him.
place waited in line for hours and hours. I think they've been there like all night or something. I'm not sure. Um, but after the parade, I think he's supposed to speak, and he's also going to sign at least some of the executive orders he's signing today there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He's just like, fuck it, bring him
Yeah, they
in.
say he's supposed to sign like 200, over 200.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
And
That's
some of them, and he hasn't signed any yet. He signed some paperwork earlier at the Capitol building after his speech, but that was more of the stuff, the official stuff, like kind of the transfer of power type things that he has to sign.
oh, okay.
Yeah, to make it official, I guess. And to like officially, even though like say his nominees for his cabinet and stuff are out there and have already like most of them have had hearings and things like that, he still had to sign official paperwork, to make that, official.
Yeah.
Had to sign paperwork to make it official.
Oh, he also talked about. That's right. That was the other thing that I'm kind of nervous about. He talked about the tariffs, Right. So he's talking about having the instead of the IRS, the ERS or whatever.
Yeah, the ERS, the External Revenue Service.
Yeah. And that man, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I saw an article earlier about say some of his executive orders and like a poll was done, but it was a very small sampling of a poll and it's supposed to be representative of the US, but um I probably the thing that made me question it the most about how accurate it would be is it was kind of saying that most people didn't agree with the J6 pardons, and I would kind of find that hard to believe amongst conservatives and MAGA Trump supporters. Um, but it also talked about the tariffs and that people were against the tariffs.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the tariffs because what a tariff is to me, or what it seems like it's going to be, because the way he even described it is, oh, the money's gonna be flooding into our treasury, and it's like, how's that help me, dude? That's like another tax on me, right? Because if I got to spend, I don't know, let's what are we talking about? Let's see, televisions for some, I don't know,
Yeah,
just
whoever brings the television in and they pay that tariff, they're going to pass it on to us.
they're going to pass it on to you, right? Which
Yeah.
means they're going to then pass that money on to the treasury, which means it's a tax. It
Yeah.
acts as a tax.
So,
And
yeah,
I
I would
don't,
definitely have to look more into it and see what was being, targeted. If it's everything or certain things, you know. Because
yeah.
I will admit I have not kept up with a lot of this stuff
Well, I know what he did originally. I
with steel and
mean,
stuff. Yeah.
well, in his first term, the first thing he did, and a lot of people had conspiracy theories behind this, is he went and he tariffed the hell out of building materials. So he tariffed the shit out of steel that was coming
Yeah.
overseas, and stuff like that. So steel product or steel, the amount of steel that was coming from overseas like decreased dramatically, and it
Hmm.
became very expensive to actually build anything, with steel at that point. Which, the conspiracy was, oh, he's just doing this and nobody can build while he's in office because he can't do it. And so when he gets out of office, he's going to be this big, contractor again. He's going to make all this money, build a bunch of skyscrapers, and get rich. He just doesn't want people doing it while he's in office. That was the conspiracy behind that, and I don't know if I agree with it, but
Well,
I just,
considering that he has less money now than he did when he first ran for president, I don't agree.
oh yeah, he screwed himself big time. But and I
But
don't even know
yeah,
why he would do this, but
to me, it has to be because he cares about the country. I mean, because it
yeah,
has not benefited him in one way that I can find.
yeah. And I think probably for his kids and grandkids and stuff like that, he's probably looking at fixing things so that they can,
Well, yeah, yeah.
why are all the kids of like JD Vance and stuff? Why are they all wearing blue?
I don't know.
That's weird. So why do you think Trump is wearing a purple tie?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Like, what is that
Unity,
about, dude? What
unity.
QAnon shit is going on with Trump right now?
He usually wears red ties, so that is funny. Maybe it is to be unifying.
It's weird, yeah. Because I mean, even JD Vance has a red tie on.
Stella, hey. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, you okay? Hold on, okay? Go ahead and
Okay.
talk.
Yeah, no problem. Let me see what's going on here. I'm gonna see if I can switch the stream over to whatever the hell's going on here, because I don't know what's going on here.
Well, sorry, my puppy got hurt.
Oh,
And she was at my feet, and she put her paws on my feet, and her dew claw got caught in my shoestring on my sneaker, and it pulled. She was trying to get it loose, and it pulled her dew claw.
oh,
Oh, you heard her cry?
yeah.
Usually the only noise she makes is barking and growling. So
I want to hear him talking because I want to bitch about what he says.
quit being a baby.
I just want to bitch about his what he's doing.
Please, I am excited today. You're just putting a damper on it.
Well, you know me, I'm not a huge Trump fan. It's just like,
Well, I am. You don't have to be. I don't care.
I just, I'm, yeah, I don't care
You
about
know
him.
he's better than the
Well,
alternative.
yeah, and I started this with that. The whole thing is, you know, as far as I'm concerned, like Bernie over Trump, but Bernie before he endorsed Hillary Clinton and sold out. You know, it would have been RFK over Trump if RFK
Mm.
ran.
If Bernie
Uh,
won, if it was Bernie, we'd all be socialists.
yeah, I mean, I don't know about that because I think the powers of government would have stopped a lot of the bad ideas he had, but I think he had a lot of good ideas at the same time. I kind of liked him, but you know, um, I would have probably voted for Bernie over that. But then when he endorsed Hillary, I was like, "Oh, I'm out, dude," because I'm not going to vote for Hillary for anything. Um, I think RFK over Trump easily. I think Tulsi Gabbard over Trump easily, but Trump over Biden easily. Trump over Kamala, who shouldn't even have been running in the first place because she wasn't democratically elected to shit. So she should never, she's an illegitimate candidate as far as I'm concerned. So, like I said, I'm on the fence, right?
How
It's
about how about Trump v. Newsom?
oh, fuck Newsom. Yeah, Newsom, no, dude. I wouldn't vote. I'd vote Hillary or not Hillary. Yeah, I'd probably vote Hillary over Newsom. I'd vote
Yeah.
freaking Kamala over Newsom, dude, because at least
Oh,
she's dumb as shit and won't do anything. Where he'll just fucking be corrupt and fuck everything up.
he'll
Newsom's
save the
fucking
fish.
Yeah, Newsom's horrible, dude. I mean, I think Newsom's probably going to end up getting recalled, which would be the best thing for us because
That'd
then
be the best.
when he tries to run for president, he'll be the recall president that
Yeah.
nobody wants. I think that'll basically kick him out of the running. So I'm hoping that they get this recall going on him because yeah, Newsom's horrible.
So I've been a little out of the loop. Is California still on fire?
A little bit, but they got it contained. Today
Yeah.
we have Santa Ana winds again, so we have the
Oh
hot
yeah,
winds
I did
coming
know
in
that.
because it's been cold as shit the last couple days, and then all of a sudden today it's warm.
Oh, it's about to be cold everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be 60 degrees in Miami.
We need a little bit more of that global warming, but the but yeah, I'm watching palm trees blow, and yeah, the wind's crazy right now. But it's not as hot as it was, so it's not that big of a deal. As long as people don't go out there and start fires because there was a lot of that going on.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I mean, there's a whole lot of that going on. So as far as watch duty goes, you got a 59% containment on the Palisades fire, and I think the majority of that's burning that they're letting burn is forest land, so it's not that big of an
Well, I
issue.
think I don't know where, but I know they were doing some back burning. They were like, control burn and
Yeah,
back burning to cut it off.
it looks like the Harbor fire is that still going, or did it end? I
I don't
can't
know, but what
tell.
about Eaton?
Eaton is pretty much done. Eaton is 87% contained, so that one's pretty much done.
Cool.
Um, they got let's see a Griffith fire. I don't know. It says active, but it doesn't have a containment on it. So I think that one is probably a dead fire, and that might have been a controlled one. I don't know. But that Harbor fire was scary because that was a fuel cell plant.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was burning the lithium shit was all burning up. So it was causing major health issues in that area. So they were having to evacuate people, not because, and I don't know, it's a couple days old, so it might not be a big deal. But they're having to evacuate people from that one just because of the fumes, not because of the fire, because the fire wasn't
Right.
spreading, but they couldn't put it out.
Okay.
And then we got a Pico fire. Yeah, that doesn't look like much. So unless that blows up, so yeah, it looks like they're all pretty much done, and looks like we don't
Yes.
really have any new ones today.
Let's hope it
The Ted
stays that
Williams fire.
way.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It doesn't look. Yeah, it doesn't look that nasty. But the Palisades thing, that was. I mean, you know,
So
that
sad.
was insane. You know, it's just what you can do when you can't fight. We have no water.
No, you don't have any water when your reservoir's been empty since February of last year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they just kick the can down the road and hope that nothing happens, and it's
Yeah.
they fucked all that up. Like, I mean, for the second biggest economy in the world, they're saying California is. I mean, they were saying that all through the elections and stuff like that. Like California is number one. But for the second biggest economy in the world, we can't fight fucking forest fires. That's crazy. We need yeah, I don't know. Newsom's fucking horrible. Keep saying soon. President Trump speaks at Capital One Arena, and he's not. Yeah, we're watching bands play. I've never been into marching bands.
Yeah, well, this is the parade, so I don't know how long it lasts, but
What is Melania's outfit about? What is that,
I don't know. I love it.
dude? That's like Carmen Sandiego, man. It's weird. I mean, it's cool, but dude, what is she going
Great.
for?
I think she looks great. I don't know.
Did Jackie O wear something like that back in the day?
I don't think so. I don't know.
And that purple tie is like driving me nuts.
And it's not really purple. It's blue and red. It is for unity. I can see it now. It's like
Is it blue and
it's
red?
a pattern. It's a blue and red pattern.
Oh,
So
okay.
far away, it looks red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, unity. Look at him. Give him some credit. He tries.
Yeah,
He almost always wears a red tie.
yeah, he does, because that's the Republican, thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What's with all the yellow?
And
What's that
Barron and
about?
his like 7-foot selves.
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't shown him.
Oh,
Very much.
he's on the other side of Melania. And they were standing up just now. He's so tall.
Yeah, it wasn't like during the first term, wasn't he like?
He was just a kid.
Yeah, he was like 3'5".
Yeah, he's like 18 now and he's tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're a little behind what I'm actually watching, so
Oh, really?
yeah, you're behind. Unless you're watching C-SPAN and I'm not. So
I'm watching C-SPAN, yeah. Yeah, I'm watching this is C-SPAN. I'm afraid to put on like ABC or anything like that, or even Newsmax.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I'm sure they'll fucking nuke me if I do.
Yeah.
So I just put on C-SPAN because I figure C-SPAN won't care.
Well, yeah, and it's usually as long as we're talking.
Yeah, yeah, but
fair use and all that.
Yeah, they don't care about that. They'll just fucking ban you and ask questions later.
You have to say it.
I got hammered
maybe Bezos won't allow it.
I got hammered for that one documentary I tried to play the one time, man. I only lasted, I think, 30 seconds on that one. That was the only time I actually got fucking nailed for doing something like this. Oh, well, shit. I don't know. I don't know if I want to suffer through this for that long.
Yeah, well, if you decide to go back on, let me know.
Yeah, I will. I think I'm going to cut this one off. I think I'm going to cut this one off, though, for now.
All righty.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Happy Inauguration Day.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Of course.
Talk to you later.